Hello everyone, welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Reni, Assistant Professor working in the Department of Food Processing and Preservation Technology, Faculty of Engineering, Avinashling University, Coimbatore. Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the processing and product of paddy. Paddy is the seed of certain variety of grass belong to the family Graminae, and this paddy is a self-pollinated crop. The main two different species of paddy are Oryza sativa, that is the Asian variety, and Oryza galberian, that is the African variety. There are 18 different species of paddy crop which is grown in different continents like Asia, Africa and America. In this, if you take Oryza sativa, is mostly grown in Asian and American continents, but Oryza galberian is grown only in Africa. In the world, main three subspecies of paddy are Indica, it's a long grain, and Japonica, round grain, and Javanica, it's a medium grain. In this, Indica is long, slender shaped grain, grow mainly in the tropical Asia and having 23 to 31% of amylose content. Japonica is the sticky, short and oval shaped grain, mostly cultivated in East Asia, Southeast Asia and South Asia, and these grains having the amylose content of 0 to 20%. The third variety is Javanica, is long, thick, broad grain and thrives even under tropical condition, and these varieties having the amylose content of 0 to 25%. After growing this section, you will be able to understand what are the unit operations which are involved in the processing of rice. Next thing is you are able to understand the working principle of various processing equipment which is involved in the processing of paddy. First, let us discuss about the importance of paddy. As a cereal grain, the rice broadly consumed as staple food for a huge part of the world population in Asia alone. India is the second largest producer and consumer of rice in the world next to China. More than 2 billion people getting 60 to 70% of their calories from rice and its products. That's why United Nations General Assembly declared 2004 is the International Year of Rice. It is the important grain which concern to human nutrition and caloric intake, providing more than 1/5 of the calories consumed worldwide by humans. The major states such as Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Kerala, Orissa, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal accounting more than 80% in rice intake when compared to the total cereal intake in the world. Next, let us learn about the growth and climatic condition which is needed for the paddy crop. The paddy crop grows up to 1 to 1.8 meter tall and it has long slender leaves of 50 to 100 centimeter long and 2 to 2.5 centimeter broad. The edible portion of the paddy grain is 5 to 12 mm long and 2 to 3 mm thick. This edible portion of the paddy grain is called rice. This tropical plant needs high heat and high humidity for its positive growth. Its optimum temperature required for sowing is 20 to 22 degrees Celsius and for growth 23 to 25 degrees Celsius and needs 25 to 30 degrees Celsius during the harvesting time of the crop. The average annual rainfall record for the cultivation of paddy crop is 150 centimeter. It is the main crop cultivated in the area having more than 200 centimeter annual rainfall and important crop in area of 100 to 200 centimeter rainfall. By 2025, more than 10 billion people will depend on rice as their principal food. Let us see the structure of paddy grain. Structure of paddy grain is classified into three different parts. First one is husk. The paddy grain is enclosed by outer thick layer is called hull or husk. This husk weight of paddy is 18 to 22% in the total weight of the paddy grain. Next layer is bran layer. The rice bran has high nutritive value and rich in proteins. It is brilliant source of vitamins B and E. Apart from this, bran contains small quantity of antioxidants which are used to control cholesterol level in humans. Rice bran having 10 to 23% of rice bran oil, and this makes it subject to rancidity. That's why the bran layer is removed or separated before going for storing or further processing. Bran once stabilized, the oil is extracted from it. This oil is a high quality vegetable oil which is used for cooking. Next part, that is the end part or edible portion of the paddy, is endosperm. The main constituent of the endosperm are 77% carbohydrate, 6% protein and 0.9% fat, and it having traces of vitamins such as B1, B2 and E. And it's having minerals like calcium, magnesium and zinc. The endosperms are thin-walled and packed with the starch granules. Next, we move on to the paddy processing. This is the main important area. So, if you take paddy, it has to go lot of unit operation before converting into edible form. The major unit operation in the paddy processing are cleaning, destoning, parboiling. Here, normally parboiling is the optional step. Next one is dehusking and storage. The various unit operations and machinery which is involved in paddy processing are given in the image. The enclosed husk weight of the paddy is 18 to 22% in the total weight of the grain, and the endosperm weighs about 70 to 72%, whereas 4 to 6% bran are removed during polishing step. What will happen during paddy milling process is given in the animation. Let us have a look into the paddy cleaning process. Cleaning of paddy is the first unit operation of paddy rice milling operation. Cleaning removes all type of foreign matters and other impurities. Pre-cleaning done when paddy comes into the mill, where the foreign matters like straw, weed seeds, soil and other inert materials are removed from paddy. If the foreign matter not removed before the dehusking process, it will affect the efficiency and milling recovery of the dehusker. What are the foreign matters which is present in the paddy? Let me see now. So, different type of foreign matters may be present in the paddy grain. One is big impurities, small impurities and impurities of equal size. If you take big impurities, examples are maybe a stem, paddy earheads and stone. For small impurities, dust and seeds. If you take impurities of equal size, immature grains, stones and other matters. During the cleaning process of paddy, the first separation is done to remove the objects that are larger when compared to the grain. The flat oscillating screen or a rotary drum screen used for cleaning purpose allows the grain to pass through and retain the straw. The second separation used to retain the grains but allow broken grains, small stones and weed seeds to pass through it. The dust and the light empty grains which are present in the paddy is removed by using the air aspirator. For the designing of various type of pre-cleaner, we need all type of physical properties which are involved in the paddy grain. Next is, let we see about the type of pre-cleaners normally which is available. According to their cleaning mechanism, grain pre-cleaners are classified. First one is oscillating sieve type. Oscillating sieve precleaners are very simple and having two sieves with different sizes depending upon the shape and size of the grain. In this, the top sieve has a larger slotted profile when compared to the bottom sieve. With respect to the grain size, the perforation of the screens may be changed. Next type is aspiration cum oscillation type. Here the lighter impurities in the grain such as dirt, dust and chaff and straw are removed by sucking air through the mass of falling grain by using the aspirator. Impurities which are not removed by the air aspirator are then separated from the grain using oscillating sieves. To remove the ionic particles, these cleaners are equipped with magnets. Next equipment is rotary cleaner. This machine having one or two drums, and these drums are fitted with mesh of different sized perforation with an oscillating sieve. The foreign material which are larger compared to the grain is removed when the paddy passes through the drums. Then the paddy goes to the oscillating sieve to separate heavier impurities. The two types of rotary cleaner are single drum and double drum with aspirator system. Next is destoner with aspiration. This machine working same as rotary cleaner with aspiration and oscillating sieves, but has an added special arrangement for separating stones from the paddy. Let us discuss about parboiling. As I already told, it's the optional step which is followed in the paddy processing. Parboiling of paddy is an age-old process in parts of Asia, Africa, to a limited extent today in some European countries and America. It is a hydrothermal treatment given for paddy before dehusking process, and it is a optional step to be followed based upon the customer preference before dehusking process, not the compulsory step. But it will increase the processing cost of the paddy. I want to discuss few advantages of parboiling. One is during parboiling, gelatinization of starch occurs, that making the grain translucent, hard and resistant to break during milling and improve the head and total rice yield. Next one is parboiled rice become more resistant to storage against insects and pests. Parboiled rice swell more during cooking and less starch will be going as a waste in the cooking water. These are the main advantage of parboiling process. Next thing is what are the unit operation which is involved in the parboiling. Let me see now. First step is soaking. During soaking process, the moisture content of the paddy increased to 30%. During soaking of paddy, water penetrate into the starch granules and result in the swelling of grains. Normally, soaking of paddy done at or below its gelatinization temperature. The soaking time required for paddy varies depending upon the temperature of water which is used. The lower the temperature of water, slow down the soaking process and vice versa. Soaking period can be reduced by subjecting the paddy to vacuum for a few minutes before soaking or soaking under pressure. Steaming is the second step after soaking. Here the soaked paddy is steamed with water. The high moisture content in the grain is used to gelatinize the starch during the steaming process. Steaming of soaked paddy leads to partial gelatinization of starchy material in the paddy grain during parboiling process. When paddy begins to crack open their husk, the steaming process will be stopped. The heat also evaporates extra moisture which is present in the grain and leaving concentrated nutrients in the kernel. This process brings about improved flavor, color change and cooking characteristics for the rice. final step in the parboiling is drying process, where the steamed paddy is spread out quickly in a airy place. Excessive sunshine will lead to non-uniform drying of kernel, ultimately result in breakage during milling. Nowadays, mechanical dryer are used for quicker drying of steamed paddy grain. Let us now discuss about the dehulling or dehusking process. In the dehusking process from the paddy, the husk layer is removed by friction, and this process is known as dehusking process. But nowadays, the dehusking of the paddy grain was done by using dehuller or dehusker machines in the modern rice mill. After dehusking process, the husk and the paddy is separated and transported to the storage dump of the milling plant. An efficient dehusker has to remove 90% of the husk from the paddy grain in a single pass. After that, the husk has been removed by using aspirator. Then the brown rice goes to the paddy separator, where the kernels that were not dehusked in the first pass will return to the dehusker again for dehusking purpose. Let us see about the types of husking machine used. Huller or Engelberg huller. Engelberg huller is generally termed as huller, which is used for dehusking. In this, the roller rotates on its axis inside a larger concentric cylinder. On the inner cast iron, spiral ribbed strips are mounted to 1/4 part of the length, and the remaining 3/4 part of the length are mounted with 4 to 6 straight strips. The outer cylinder is made into two parts. The bottom half is fabricated with perforation. Through this perforation, the husk and the bran are removed during dehusking process. The ribbed roller rotates at 600 rpm to 900 rpm. Friction between the grains and the steel part of the dehuller causes the husk and the bran to be scraped off. The capacity of this type of huller is around 200 to 750 kg per hour. The average yield of head rice is 56% for raw rice, 62 to 64% for parboiled rice. Next, the underrunner disc sheller is a very commonly used huller in Asian countries. The underrun disc huller consists of two horizontal cast iron partly covered with an abrasive liquid called M. The upper disc is fixed to the cast iron housing and stationary. A centrally located hopper used to feed paddy grain between the stationary upper disc and revolving lower disc, which have abrasive coating. The clearance between the two discs is adjusted based upon the variety of paddy grain. The working principle of this underrun disc huller is friction and pressure. The excessive pressure over the paddy grain during dehusking process causes the breakage of the grain. The brown rice and the husk are then discharged through the different outlet. This machine produces minimum amount of cracked or broken grain and having the hulling efficiency of about 85 to 90%. With the different principle, the next commonly used huller is the rubber roll huller. The rubber roll huller is the most effective hulling machine, and this rubber roller consists of two rubber rolls with same diameter and different speed, which are used to remove the husk from the paddy. These rollers rotate at different speed and in different direction. In the two rubber roller, one roller is in fixed position, another one is adjustable to meet the desired clearance. By using this adjustable roller, the clearance between the two rollers are adjusted based upon the paddy grain thickness. The adjustable roller rotates slower when compared to the fixed one. For separating the hulls from the dehusked brown rice, mostly rubber roll huller having an aspirator in the bottom of the machine. If the gap or clearance between the two rollers is properly adjusted, this equipment will remove 95% of paddy husk which is fed to it. The recovery percentage of head rises more in this equipment. Most of the modern rice milling industry having the rubber roll sheller to get more yield in the milled paddy. Centrifugal dehusker is the next type of dehusker. In this dehusker, dehusking taking place due to impact force. In this, paddy grains are subject to a centrifugal force by means of a rotating impeller with a rotational speed ranging between 2500 to 3000 rpm. It creates an impact force sufficient to remove the husk from the paddy grain. The paddy is fed to the center of the rotor, which is thrown towards the casing with great force and is shelled upon hitting. The salient features of the centrifugal dehusker are its high capacity and simple construction, because there is only one moving part, that is the impeller. The initial cost of this machine and the operation cost is very low. Next step is the paddy separation. The outcome of the dehusker is the combination of paddy rice, brown rice, husk, broken paddy and bran. The huller aspirator remove the lighter materials like bran, husk and tiny materials. The remaining materials pass on to the paddy separator, where the undehulled paddy rice is separated and the amount of paddy present should not be more than 10%, and this paddy separator works based upon the difference in specific gravity, buoyancy force and size between the paddy and the brown rice. Polishing process. Polishing is the process used to remove bran layer from the brown rice. By applying friction towards the grain surface, the bran layer is removed from the brown rice either by rubbing the grains against an abrasive surface or against each other. Normally, 8 to 10% of bran is removed from the total paddy weight, but this will vary depending upon the whiteness which is required. After polishing process, separation of white rice is done. Here that white rice is separated into head rice, large and small broken rice by using a sifter. Head rice is generally 75 to 80% or more of the whole kernel. From the bottom screen sifter, output is the very fine brokens that are called brewers. A higher degree of precision of grading and separation of polished rice will be done by using indent grader. This machine has 1 to 3 rotating indented cylinders. Different indented sizes are used to remove the brokens depending upon the size of the grain. Mist polishing is done after the separation of white rice. Mist polishing is mixing a fine mist of water to the dust which is retained on the whitened rice, which will improve the appearance of the rice without significant change in the milling yield. A friction based whitening machine gives a fine mist of water during the final whitening process of rice, which is used for final polishing before marketing product. Let me discuss about the various product which is made from the rice. First one is about the rice noodles. So normally rice noodles are made from rice. Their major ingredients are rice flour and water. Sometimes other ingredients such as tapioca or cornstarch are added in order to increase the transparency and chewy texture for the noodles. Rice noodles are most commonly used in the East and Southeast Asia cuisines. From the wet milled rice flour, flat rice noodles and extruded round noodles are produced. Next one is about the edible rice paper. This is the traditional product which is made from the rice. Normally it is used to wrap the edible candies. Next product is the alcoholic beverages. The most common alcoholic beverages produced from rice is the rice beer, produced from boiling husked rice and inoculating the mix with bit of yeast cake, then allowing it to ferment for a shorter period of time. Rice vinegar is the sweetest traditional product from China and Japan. It can range from clear or pale yellow to shades of red, brown and black. It has 4 to 5% of total acidity. Rice syrup is an sweetener which is made from cooked brown rice. Here the enzymes which is present will be used to convert the starch into simple sugar. Puffed rice, it's a very common traditional product. Puffed rice is produced by the reaction between the starch and moisture when heated along with the grain. Unlike popcorn, rice kernels are lacking in moisture, so it must be conditioned with steam. Puffed rice can be produced by heating the steam conditioned rice kernels either with oil or in an oven. Now we will summarize what we discussed in the paddy processing. First thing is, if you take paddy, is a seed of certain variety of grass, belongs to the family Graminae, and this paddy is a self-pollinated crop. Next one is, if you take this crop, it will grow up to 1 to 1.8 meter tall and it has longer slender leaves of 50 to 100 centimeter long and 2 to 2.5 centimeter broad. India is the second largest producer and consumer of rice in the world next to China. The paddy has to undergo certain processing treatment prior its conversion into edible form. The major unit operation in the paddy processing are cleaning, stoning, parboiling, dehusking and storage. In the modern rice mill, lot of machineries are involved to perform various unit operation in the paddy processing mill. Parboiling process is an optional step included during processing of parboiling rice.